This is Duke University.
Could I ask everybody to please stand? I present to you the PhD and daytime MBA graduates of 2013. Please be seated. It's a tremendous privilege to serve as dean of an incredible community. Every day at Fuqua is a great day. Today is a great day beyond the usual great day that we have. It is a day of incredible celebration where we honor all of these graduates and the work they've put in, the struggles, the fun, the hard work, that's led to ultimately a transformational experience. And I'm so glad that we have so many people with us to share in this event, that we have the friends and family who are behind the scenes providing that support when needed, before getting here, while being here, and presumably after being here. It's fantastic to have our faculty here who are so committed to creating that transformational experience, and the staff who support all of us in making this experience so great. It's wonderful to have an entire community together to celebrate today. And so I look forward to a very special ceremony. I'm going to now turn the podium over to the MBA President and Vice President, Deborah Costa and Colin Joyner.
Esteemed classmates, professors, families, and friends, it is a privilege and honor to welcome you all to Fuqua's commencement ceremony and to congratulate our class today. Class of 2013, we are officially Fuqua MBAs. And PhDs. During these next few minutes, I'd like to celebrate one of the most powerful aspects of Fuqua, our team-based culture and the classmates who embody it. Positive, unique, honorable, diverse, humble and brilliant, and kind. When we're at our best, these are the attributes I've seen define us. To help us recall how our peers have shaped our experiences and really our lives, I'm going to describe one person from each section who embodies an aspect of Fuqua's culture. The attribute I'll start with is positive spirit. Shom Acharya from section 1. Have you ever walked into a team meeting, perhaps your third of the day, and thought, I will literally die if I have to sit in this team room for 2 more hours and talk about how to value price a product? I have. But when Shom walks in the room, his optimism is contagious. Yes, we will get this project done, and we will laugh and enjoy ourselves in the process. Shom exudes positivity. He is one of the most encouraging people I have ever met who offers unconditional support to all those around him. Unique. Mark Hugh from section 2. Mark showed me how you can be anywhere in the world and find ways to discover new and unexpected things. He's one of those rare people who will walk up to you and say something like, let's not have the same conversation we've been having all day about where we're moving to or when we start our job. Tell me something about yourself that I don't know already. Mark encapsulates that unique side of Fuqua. He challenges us all to embrace the creative, the different, and the unknown. Honorable. Liz Charles from section 3. One of the things that makes me most proud of our class is when we hold each other to higher standards. Liz is someone who sets an example of leading with integrity. She inspires me to make good and honorable decisions, and through spearheading our first ethics conference, she inspired an entire community to make good and honorable decisions. Diverse. Maria Rodriguez Retamoso from section 4. . 4 . Maria showed me how to appreciate other cultures in a way that I never had before. She explained to me that as an international student, she observed that there are experiences American students take for granted, and how to be inclusive, we need to explain our customs and cultures, even around things that seem as obvious to us as the Super Bowl. Maria brings people together by celebrating our differences. Humble and brilliant. Nate Wright from Section 5. You may or may not know this, but MBA grads aren't always known for being humble. As it turns out, this is in fact an attribute that many of our classmates possess. Nate is one such example. He's a quiet leader who doesn't care about being in the spotlight, yet always makes time to help and to teach others. I often benefited from his patience, intelligence, and learned from watching him what it means to be a servant leader. Kind. Matt Costello from Section 6. Matt personifies kindness. There have been days at Fuqua when I felt completely crushed by the busyness and demands of each day. Matt, however, has always been one to offer a smile, thoughtful words, and an unexpected email of thanks and encouragement. His kindness makes a lasting impact on the people around him. So we have positive, unique, honorable, diverse, humble and brilliant, and kind. I'm certain that for each of these attributes, you can think immediately of at least 10 other classmates who exemplify each one. This is a community to which I'm proud to belong. Before I close, I'm reminded of a recent conversation with one of my ILE teammates. He said, "Deb, I have changed so much in these past 2 years because of Fuqua. I learned a tremendous amount, and I wish we could do it over again." Well, class of 2013, we can't do it over again. But we can carry with us what we've learned from each other. To quote the words of one of my favorite professors, Shane DeColey, I want us to continue to be a beneficial presence, to always challenge ourselves to be even better in the future, to uphold the Fuqua brand, and to make a meaningful difference in our communities. Class of 2013, thank you for giving me and Colin the opportunity to represent you as your student leaders. More than that, thank you for a memorable and transformative 2 years with your positive spirits, uniqueness, diverse perspectives, humility, brilliance, and kindness. Finally, I would be remiss without acknowledging that it takes a village to raise a Fuquan. To that end, on behalf of the graduating class, I'd like to recognize parents, partners, families, Fuqua professors, and staff for the patience, unwavering support, and belief in our ability to succeed. We thank you. And to all of the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. Class of 2013, we did it. Congratulations. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the MBA Vice President and someone who has become a very dear friend, Colin Joyner.
Congratulations, classmates. Greetings, friends and loved ones. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. It is an incredible honor to be here with you today. We all have people that inspire us. They may be family members sitting here in the stands, or they may be classmates that we've gotten to know over the past 2 years. One of my biggest inspirations is my sister, Bryn, and I'd like to share her story with you and 4 lessons that I've learned from her. Bryn was a vivacious, intelligent, beautiful woman at 23 years old when, living in Big Sky, Montana in 2002, she hit a tree head-on skiing. Upon impact, her neck went back so far that she tore 2 arteries in her neck and had 2 aneurysms that caused 3 strokes to her brain. She suffered fractures to her skull and face and broke the bones in her left arm and fingers, as well as pulmonary contusion from breaking the ribs that punctured her lung. As she slipped into cardiac arrest and death, she was pulled back into this living world by 2,000 volts of electricity from a defibrillator, combined with shots of adrenaline administered by emergency medical technicians. Bryn died, became a ghost, but then, somehow, she came back. Needless to say, Bryn's recovery required a monumental effort, which brings me to the first lesson. Every achievement is a process that begins with belief. Bryn had no other choice but to focus on healing. The prognosis from her doctors was not good. Bryn's vocabulary was at a second-grade level due to the brain damage from her strokes, and paralysis in her vocal cords meant she might never speak again. Due to the ripe trauma and displacement of her left eye, she may never be able to see out of this eye again. Due to the trauma in her spine, she may never walk again. Bryn would experience debilitating chronic pain and migraines for the rest of her life. Antibiotics wiped out much of the bacteria in her digestive system, so she was incapable of digesting most foods. Bottom line, it was unlikely Bryn would ever recover to a full-functioning person. While this was traumatic news, it was actually the emotional journey that was even more daunting. What is my purpose? Am I even supposed to be here? What do I have to do to prove myself? Do I even care? Class of 2013, doesn't this sound like your fellow classmates during recruiting season a little bit? I'll read that one more time. What is my purpose? Am I even supposed to be here? What do I have to do to prove myself? Do I even care? Yes, classmates, we have also been on an emotional journey. Because of my sister's strong will and tenacity, these prognoses were unacceptable to her. She decided to believe that she would walk, talk, and live a healthy and productive life. She began with belief. Lesson 2, there is a world of possibilities beyond conventional wisdom. Bryn was saved by a combination of people, technology, and medicine. She wouldn't be here if those defibrillators malfunctioned, if the electricity went out, or if the adrenaline shots hadn't been invented. But conventional wisdom told her that she has certain limits, which she has proven wrong. Bryn likes to explain it like this: you can only believe what you can conceive. Bryn healed her mangled body through yoga, which straightened her crooked skeleton, strengthened her joints, and rejuvenated her nervous and circulatory systems. She rebuilt her digestive system with a strict probiotic diet, and she incorporated alternative practices like aromatherapy and Reiki. To heal her spirit, she visited shamans and joined healing ceremonies with her Native American community. To manage her chronic pain and balance her brain, Bryn meditates. Through meditation, she is able to break down her pain into components, and she has learned how to accept pain signals as sensations, acknowledging them without reacting to them. This process has literally changed the way Bryn perceives pain in her brain. By being open to new possibilities, Bryn has discovered solutions for herself outside of the arena of conventional wisdom. I think this idea has large implications for the business world. Lesson 3, change is continuous, and the only thing we have control over is how we react. A few years after her accident, my sister hit a low point. While she had improved herself physically, she still suffered from chronic pain and the emotional pain of knowing she had lost a tremendous amount of opportunity. Bryn took a solo quest to Guatemala to find answers. She hiked up a volcano and took a break and sat in her pain wondering, why can't I do this? A hunched over 80-year-old man limped by with a large stack of sticks on his back, and he smiled at her and said, hello, and wished her a wonderful day. In this moment, Bryn realized that she had lost perspective and allowed herself to be a victim. She puts it this way: you can never control what happens to you, but you can always control how you react. We are the cause of our own misery and of our own happiness. Lesson 4, life is a miracle that can only exist through relationships. A relationship of protons, neutrons, and electrons creates an atom. An atom joins to form molecules, which join to form systems. The organs of your body work together to process food and oxygen into energy. Technology, medical technicians, electricity combined with flesh to bring my sister back to life. Bryn draws motivation from a positive support system of donors, healers, family, and a network of inspiring people. She believes strongly in manifesting things in life, and she seeks out people who see the possibilities of life as positively as she does. Bryn sums it up this way: have a glass half full attitude, but work to fill it up. It is through relationships that we can achieve much more than we can on our own. Bryn is here today. Bryn, will you please stand? Reflecting back on these 4 lessons reminds me of our friend and classmate Jessica Caro, who we lost this past year. Jessica was driven by the belief that she was capable of being the best in all she pursued, and she was driven by a hunger for that achievement. Jessica saw a world of possibility, especially in her work to advance an education system that is failing the underprivileged. Jessica had no patience for excuses. She had a yes, I can attitude, and she influenced everyone around her to adopt this same positive outlook. And finally, Jessica had an incredible support system with her family and friends. She built coalitions in her educational work and developed strong networks in her time at Fuqua. Most notably, in leading the team that launched the first New Orleans Entrepreneurship Week. 2 inspiring women who can offer all of us important lessons as we embark on our new journeys. Congratulations, class of 2013, and thank you. In the spirit of giving and continuous improvement, I'd like to welcome to the stage those individuals whose work this year will help Fuqua to continue to grow. Please welcome to the stage the class gift presenters, Suzanne Scherer, Sarah Schiavetti, and Ian Kane.
On behalf of the class of 2013, we'd like to present this check to Dean Bill Boulding to show our support for the Fuqua School of Business. This gift to the Fuqua Annual Fund will help fund activities such as faculty research, scholarships, and global initiatives. This was a great year. We raised $51,369, with 92% of the class participating. Class of 2013, thank you for your participation and your support. Thanks.
Thank you all so much. This is incredibly important to the school, and what it symbolizes more than anything is you are a class that has been willing to invest not only in your own experience, but making sure that you invest in the people that will follow you and we continue to get better. Thank you so much.
It's now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you our nominated class speaker, someone I considered to be not only a classmate, but also my mentor, role model, and dear friend. Please join me in welcoming Monica Van Buskirk from the great Section 5.
Dear deans, esteemed faculty, loving family, friends, honorable guests, thank you for joining us today. Dear class of 2013, hey you guys. I wrote something, but I'm not going to use that. On Thursday, I mentioned that in order to be a courageous leader of consequence, you first have to be terrified. Well, try going from never having given a public presentation to speaking in Cameron in front of 2,500 people. I am so lucky this podium is hiding my knees right now. As my classmates know, while we're at Fuqua, we're given countless pieces of advice about how to craft our resumes. We're coached to create a single sheet of paper that tells a story about what we've learned over time. But I find that the most authentic pieces of information are those that never appear on that paper. For me, that time appears as a 9-month gap between undergrad and a manual labor job at a warehouse in Massachusetts. In that gap is the first time that I moved to North Carolina. I accepted a job teaching at a private school about an hour west of here. And although I'd come out as LGBT in my interview, after 5 months, the headmaster called me into his office and asked that I consider the nature of the community and not to do anything that made others uncomfortable. He was basically asking me to go back in the closet. I was so angry and so deeply betrayed. I resigned from my first full-time job and moved back to Massachusetts for the next 9 years. This is why, when I was faced with the decision of whether or not to return to North Carolina for Fuqua, I was terrified. Possibly the only thing more terrifying than speaking in Cameron is realizing that you have to come out to your new business school classmates back in North Carolina. But let's be honest, you guys. We all have something to come out about. So I'm asking all of you, right now, what's something you're afraid to do? What feels both terrifying and authentic? Or to quote Sheryl Sandberg, what would you do if you were not afraid? Incredibly, I was able to answer that question at Fuqua because you, my classmates and colleagues, did the hard work to just let me come out as authentically me. The only reason I'm able to lead healthcare discussions and advocate for others is because you have already stepped up and created this phenomenal community where everyone is celebrated. To be in a place where you don't have to worry about being ridiculed or tormented because of who you are, regardless of race, religion, country, or family structure, is an amazing feeling, and you just don't get that everywhere. But we have that here, and everyone has something to come out about. You guys know how awesome it is when that happens. What about when someone comes out as an aspiring filmmaker or actor? Or someone with a closet full of Hawaiian shirts, or as a wild version of Madonna singing Like a Prayer, or as a seriously brave opera singer, or as a to-be parent, or as a professional cyclist, or as someone who's pretty good at the qualitative stuff but really terrible at anything mathy, or as an international student who doesn't always speak in class, not because you don't know the answer, but because you are seriously tired from doing the readings in a foreign language. Or as a wild and sassy dancer trapped in a librarian's body. Or as someone who knows it's crazy to take on MBA level debt for a social impact salary, but you deeply believe that the world needs that kind of risk taker. And finally, as a classmate who still doesn't have a job at graduation. So many of us have already shared something that's true and authentic, but it's also terrifying. Because you see, the second half of courage is being convinced that something is so important, you do it anyway. If you've shared something terrifying and genuine, it's not because you're super strong or you have muscles like Michael Bruno or Jacqueline Harris. It's because Fuqua has created this absurdly unique place where you can be your authentic self, because your classmates have done the heavy lifting. Oh, crap. Okay. Because we've all jumped into this pool of trust together, we also all get to reap the absurdly amazing rewards. We get to be led by the Anjali Menons and the Ali Rulis and the Dawn Arthurs and the Gina Rodriguezes and the Fiona Yus of the world. So if you haven't already, come out as your true and authentic self. Will you? More importantly, and you guys have to listen to this part, stop tweeting. Will you make sure that the people who work for you can also do that? Because if you can do for your professional colleagues what you have done over these last years, that's going to be outrageously amazing. The ability to give bravery to those around you is transformative. Just look at what you've done for me. This is not the North Carolina that I left out of fear and disillusionment. This is a North Carolina where I'm respected and encouraged. I am eternally indebted to you who've invested in our community. Because of you, my resume has a new listing. It's aptly named Fuqua Pride. And I imagine the hundreds of people that you're going to lead in your career, and I am blown away. If you give them the same strength to be terrifyingly authentic, then you will undoubtedly lead incredible organizations. I don't take it lightly when I say that you are going to change the world. So to put the BLATES, the bottom line at the end of the speech, be terrifyingly authentic. Yes, class of 2013, you get your pansy little rear ends up out of those seats. You march out those doors with your hotter than a teen vampire novel MBA, and you lead a terrifyingly authentic Deloitte, John Deere, Kraft, Goldman & Sachs, Apple, Samsung. You get some brave freaking employees to come out wherever they are, and who are really who they are because you are truly who you are. And you do it with gusto, like Denzel hitting threes over UNC at Blue Cup all night long. And then you do not pat yourself on the back for changing the world. You turn to Team Fuqua and you say thank you, grazie, obrigado, arigata, danke, Shalom, vetoro raba. In pishale dosal se mere dost ar shukshuk honye kelie dianyavad. Spasibo, druzia. Shieshienye du oyi ye. Especialmente gracias a mis amigas latinas por las sonrisas y su amor. If you guys have any questions about what I just said, just ask Paul Sadlowski. Go get it, Fuqua.
Thank you, Deborah, Colin, and Monica for 3 incredibly heartfelt and, yes, authentic talks. Thank you. We had a ceremony and gave out a number of awards earlier this week, and I just want to make reference to some people who won those awards and the faculty and staff. And so I'd like to acknowledge Kevin Shang, who won the Excellence in Teaching Award for a core course. I'd like to acknowledge John Graham, who won the Excellence in Teaching Award for an elective course. And I'd like to acknowledge Russ Morgan, who won the Staff Choice Award for excellence in everything he does. I now have the distinct pleasure of introducing our graduation speaker. Gerald Hassell is someone, if you just look at the paper, you say, this is a person of incredible accomplishment. He graduated from Duke in 1973. and then went to work for Bank of New York Mellon, or whatever name it had back then, and spent his entire career with the same company. He is now the CEO and chairman, and along the way, he's done other things, such as serve as the chair of our Board of Visitors, and he currently serves on the Duke University Board of Trustees. He is someone who developed a relationship with Duke many years ago, and that relationship is even stronger today in terms of his commitment. On paper, he's an incredible person. He's leading an enormously important global company in the financial services industry. But what really makes Gerald special is what he is as a human being. I don't think I can think of a finer human being than Gerald. This is someone who inspires trust and confidence. Whatever the situation is, and believe me, in the financial services industry, over the past few years, it has been an industry marked with turbulence and disruption. To have someone like Gerald at the helm of the company, I know has to be incredibly reassuring for all the people who work for that company, who invest in that company, and are customers of that company. He is someone who is compassionate, he is caring, he's brilliant, and we're lucky that he's with us here today. So Gerald, without further ado.
Well, thank you, Dean Boulding, for that very, very kind introduction. First of all, I want to congratulate Monica and Deborah and Colin. You're awesome. You're a tough act to follow, too. So really, really great speech, Monica. I really appreciate it. It actually ties into my speech a little bit, too. So I think we're on the same wavelength. Yesterday when I arrived, I got an extra special treat. I didn't realize we were going to have this commencement address here in Cameron. And on one of my bucket list items, I said to myself, God, I'd like to be able to perform at the varsity level in Cameron. So I hope I'll be able to take some editorial license and say, after today, I've performed at the varsity level at Cameron. Now, when Dean Boulding asked me to take on this assignment and deliver the commencement address, a few thoughts immediately came to my mind. First of all, I was deeply, deeply honored to have the opportunity to talk to some of the brightest, most imaginative, most innovative minds on the planet right here in this room. Second, what a fantastic challenge. And then third, what the heck did I get myself in for? What could I possibly say that hasn't already been said by thousands of others of probably more eloquent speakers than me, all of which you can find online. Now, so coming here, to me, was taking a real risk. And I think it was taking an extra risk on the dean's part as well. Because as you said, why would he want to take the flack of picking someone from the financial services industry to come speak when our popularity as an industry is actually below that of Congress? And that's really hard to do. Now, I've only attended 4 graduation speeches in my life, my nieces and my daughters here at Duke, my son's graduation at Hamilton College, and my own graduation here at Duke as well. Now, I can't say that I remember that one well either, because I think I was a little hungover. Now, despite my questionable fit for this role, I do have significant experience in the role of someone who has had the audacity to outperform and not be limited by any preconceived boundaries. I am evidence of extraordinary good fortune, very good luck, and yes, hard work in pursuit of building something lasting and meaningful in life. Now, looking back, I was a pretty unlikely candidate for this great institution. I grew up in Miami, Florida. I went to the largest public high school in the state, and I was very, very naive about attending college or even how to apply to college. My father was a butcher. He grew up on a tobacco farm in eastern North Carolina. He never went to college. He never even graduated from high school. No one in my family ever attended college or ever even applied to college. And my high school wasn't much help in the process. The only thing that I knew was that my parents were insistent and passionate about making sure that I found a way to attend university. And in a way, it was as much their dream as it was mine to attend Duke University. So I researched schools in the library. There was no internet then. Learned about SATs and the application process, and began my journey. Now, I actually thought I was going to get a football scholarship somewhere, but none of the schools who were interested in me, I was interested in attending. Now, I was actually attracted to Duke because of its great engineering school. But I have to say, I ultimately enrolled here because Duke took a risk on me. Duke not only accepted me, but they gave me enough financial aid to make my dream possible. It was actually cheaper for me and my family for me to attend Duke University than the University of Florida, my state school. A real commitment on Duke's part. And I will forever be grateful. I would not be where I am today were it not for Duke University. No amount of money, resources, or time that I have given can fully repay the investment and faith Duke has had in me. Now, while at Duke, I was no great athlete, although I did make the football team freshman year. I was no academic star. I had to work in the dining hall kitchens to cover my living expenses. So certainly there was no time to be a student leader as well. But I did have a goal, and that was to graduate and make my family proud. And what I learned here forever changed my life. First, I learned how to learn. Now, grades in high school came pretty easily to me, probably like most of you, but my Duke classmates were generally way ahead of me on the learning curve, and I had to approach being a student very differently. Now, I also learned the power of hard work, persistence, dedication, and simply never giving up. But most importantly, I learned the power of taking a risk. To succeed, one must dare to be great. When I graduated from Duke, forget greatness, I just needed a job. It was 1973, the economy was weak, there was very little hiring going on. Sound familiar? And for my case, there was no going back home. Now, lots of companies came to campus and I interviewed with everybody, from consumer products companies to utilities to banks. And I became a student of the interview process and learned how to present myself or not. In one of my first interviews, a company rep asked me, what were my areas of interest? What part of his company would I like to work for? And my enlightened answer, what have you got? So I wasn't very particular, and certainly wasn't the answer they teach you in the Career Center. Needless to say, I didn't get the job. But one company did, in fact, take a real risk on me, and as Bill said, it was the Bank of New York. They offered me a job to join their management training program as a credit analyst, in spite of the fact that I probably was not the best candidate on paper. And I also took a risk to join them. I had never been to New York before my interview. And when I did move to New York, I didn't know a single soul before moving there. And while it was the oldest bank in the country, the bank in New York was small by most standards and hired mostly from well-established schools in the Northeast. You know the ones. Now, very quickly, I learned that the competition and the pace in New York were absolutely ferocious, but the risk started to pay off quickly. Now, much of my early career was spent making commercial loans to companies in the media, cable television, broadcasting, motion picture, and emerging technologies industries. At the Bank of New York, we built a specialty doing this and became one of the largest, most influential and respected banks in the world, providing such financings. We took risks, very calculated, very reasoned risks, on people, management teams, and business models that we probably wouldn't be allowed to take today. We lent money against cash flows, not net income. It was a very novel idea back then. We lent against franchise values, software rights, and libraries, not hard assets. We were pioneers supporting entrepreneurs, true visionaries willing to take a risk to do something unheard of, if not revolutionary. Leaders who have built some of the great companies of our nation and advanced technologies that have had a great impact on how each of us relate to the world. Now, one of my experiences particularly comes to mind. It involves a cable television company that I covered. They were a group of tough and long-time serial underperformers. The business required huge amounts of capital to build networks and the still unproven hope that people would subscribe. By the early to mid-1980s, cable companies began to develop consistent cash flow generating capabilities and very sustainable financing models. And the industry grew by leaps and bounds. All of you think of cable TV as a requirement now. But there was one cable operator back then, a fellow named Craig McCaw, who decided to invest in an emerging new industry. This is 1983, mind you. It was a wacky idea called cellular telephones. And who needed that when we had perfectly good landlines? Now, Craig McCaw decided to sell virtually all of his rapidly growing, very valuable cable television business to invest in this totally new enterprise that only the big phone companies were beginning to get interested in and invest in. So he got out of a surefire winner to take the risk of building and investing in something with no proven outcome, only a vision. And as they say in poker, he was all in with not a great hand. So in roughly 1984, the Bank of New York, along with a couple of other pioneering banks, made a sizable loan to this upstart, modestly capitalized company to build the network and cell towers and bring to market mobile telephones. Now, our method of lending, get this, the finance students will love this one, involved advancing certain dollar amount against the population of the franchise that was being awarded to this company. We called it dollars per pop. It was a very interesting phrase. There were no earnings, there was no cash flow, only a well-conceived idea. So talk about risk-taking. And it paid off very handsomely for Craig McCaw, the Bank of New York, and society in general. So you can partially blame me or thank me, or Craig McCaw, every time your phone rings or you get a text message in the middle of a great meal. Now, an interesting sidebar to this story, which has relevance today, involves an early video that Craig and his team put together to illustrate their vision of the power of mobile wireless technology. Now, I remember it vividly as if it were yesterday. Now, this is the mid-1980s, mind you, long before iPhones and iPads. It depicted a professor at a university collaborating on a research project with another professor at a distant university. The one professor would speak to a tablet device, not a phone, which would recognize his voice, call his colleague on the other side of the world. They would each ask the device for data to be shared and visually seen by the other, and they would be able to manipulate the data, all by voice recognition, all over this wireless device. Of course, at the time, it seemed absolutely crazy. Well, the power of the vision has become reality today, and almost everyone around the world now carries it in their hand. Truly extraordinary. Now, I've been fortunate to work with other visionaries. And a great book that I highly recommend to all of you is entitled Outsiders, which is about 8 unconventional CEOs and their radically rational blueprint for success. And they're not the usual suspects. They're not the Jack Welches of the world. The CEOs in this book were very calculating, very unorthodox risk takers who transformed industries and created enormous value for shareholders, employees, and their communities. True American capitalism at its best. Now, why am I telling you all of this, you may ask? Because the one thing I know about this graduating class is that it's a wildly ambitious group. And this school has attracted and educated some incredible people like Tim Cook and Melinda Gates, who dare to dream big. Our world needs more dreamers, more Craig McCaws. Now, Craig McCaw achieved his vision not just because he was a brilliant idea. He succeeded because he took a risk. Craig McCaw, with the next great idea, but with no aptitude or openness to taking calculated risk is just another guy tinkering in his garage. Now, you might cringe at that. It may seem harsh. It's intended to be harsh. It's a wake-up call. As you set off on your journeys, I want you to be aware that what course you're taking, because I don't want you sitting at a dead-end street waiting for someone to bring the road to you. Now, this class has already shown an aptitude for risk-taking. At a time when many calculate the return on investment for advanced degrees to be pretty darn low, you took a risk to attend grad school. And I commend you for it, and at least convincing your parents for funding it. And even more kudos for those who funded it themselves. It's a real commitment. That risk that you've taken represents a good first step, but only a first step. Now, in pursuit of your dreams over the coming months or years, you will confront many decision points that will help determine whether you'll reach your goals and fulfill your potential. Your appetite for risk will be challenged, and you need to be ready. Now, that happened to me in my early 30s. I was in the midst of this job that I just described, and I was having an absolute blast and working with some of the most interesting people and industries in the entire world. And then suddenly I was asked to give it all up and to step in a totally different role within our company. And it was a high-risk move. I would be heading strategic planning for our entire company and work directly for our very demanding, very mercurial, very capricious CEO. It was a huge leap of faith. The wiser heads in mine counseled me that the upside was substantial. It would give me exposure to every part of our company and allow me to put my wild-ass ideas to the test and give me regular exposure to our board. Those wise people also thought that it would be good for the company, and that was something that really appealed to me. And as after 40 years, I guess you can say I'm a company guy. Now, on the downside, it was clearly a way out. I was way out of my comfort zone. Worse, because the role and the personalities involved, it was obvious from the outset that at any moment, my career might be over, and I probably wouldn't see it coming. But I dared to take the job, and I found myself doing all the things that I dreamed about. I was able to help launch several new businesses and begin the process of a major acquisition that dramatically transformed our company. It was an incredibly rich experience that taught me real-life lessons about corporate strategy, capital allocation, acquisitions, and divestitures that I never would have experienced by simply financing the ideas and strategies of others. It dramatically changed my career and my confidence in myself. Getting out of one's personal comfort zone, I believe, is the best, fastest, and maybe the only real way to grow as an individual and to learn. Now, I guarantee it, there will be some point, probably many points in your career, where you will have to decide, do I take the easy, comfortable path? Do I take the predictable path? Or do I take the path someone else thinks best for me and the enterprise or institution that I represent? Or do I just stay in my comfort zone or only do what's best for me? Now, I found that making a choice for selfish personal interests is never a very good answer or outcome. Doing something selfless and meaningful for others is much more rewarding. The people who have the greatest impact on our world are those who never stop changing, never stop challenging themselves or the status quo. People, companies, enterprises, institutions, states, governments, all resist change. Those who become complacent, who stop striving for excellence in whatever endeavor they pursue, they are dead. They become no longer relevant. The world simply runs them over or runs right by them, and nobody cares. It's not just about losing the race. Not everyone strives for the corner office. Not everyone strives for my job, believe me. But it is about losing the quality of life and a certain vibrancy that keeps us all fresh and energized and challenged. Now, I learned to take risks. I dared myself to succeed, and the risks were worth it. I'm still in the same company that hired me out of Duke, although I am in a slightly different position. My career took a variety of paths, just as our company has transformed itself many times over in the 40 years that I've been there. Now, for those of you who know me, it's not my style to speak so much about myself or my career. I actually really do hate doing it. It sounds so self-important and so far from the truth to suggest that I had such a meaningful impact on so many things. But I was very, very fortunate to be in a position to contribute, to be part of a winning team, and to help influence outcomes that were of consequence. You too, I am convinced, will have those same opportunities, maybe in a different form, in a different industry, or a different venture. But I challenge you to take the unconventional path. To paraphrase Robert Frost, who said it much more eloquently than I can, in The Road Not Taken, two roads diverged, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all of the difference. There's a reason why those words are so often quoted. Now, I worry that our generation, my generation, has left you woefully unprepared to take the risks you should take to maximize your impact on the world, maximize your happiness, and realize on those big dreams. As a parent, I worry that my generation has sent you all the wrong message. We're the helicopter parents who to various degrees fly in and out and occasionally hover over you. We gave you those same cell phones so we could reach you at any moment. And we thought our role was to remove every possible risk. But have we inadvertently convinced you that risk is a bad thing? Now, I'm also guilty of all these things. The truth is, risk is an essential part of living. It's how we get off the proverbial couch and live life to the fullest. It's how Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. It's how a mother from California named Julie Bowen launched a charity that is changing the way China cares for its orphans. It's how we expose ourselves to people and situations that stretch, inspire, and engage new parts of our brains in ways that enrich our experience and those around us. Now just think about this great institution for a moment. Duke University was built by taking an enormous risk. In the early 1900s, it was a small liberal arts college in the South known as Trinity College. The school's president, William Preston Few, thought with the right investments, it could be a world-class university, able to rival those long-established Northeastern schools and draw students from all around the world. He shared those dreams with James B. Duke in the form of a letter, suggesting that Mr. Duke make a donation to transform Trinity College into a comprehensive research university. No PowerPoint deck. In fact, no amount was specified in his letter. Few left a blank space in front of the word millions, and he got the sale. They took another risk, hiring an African-American architect named Julian Abel to design the West Campus. Now, can you imagine the risk that they took, making such an unconventional selection of architects in the Deep South in the 1920s? And the Fuqua School was established in 1969 because the university dared to take the risk of developing something more than just another business school, and was blessed to find a benefactor in J.B. Fuqua, an entrepreneur and politician who not only never attended Duke University, he never attended college. But he had great affection for this university because they allowed him to use the library to check out books and to advance his independent thinking. And as Fuqua's first dean, Thomas Keller, adopted a curriculum that was groundbreaking and unconventional in the spirit of creating a distinctive character of teaching and learning. Now, penetrating the top ranks of business schools can take eons, but Fuqua established itself as one of the top business schools in the country in a very short period of time. Another dream, another risk, another great success. Duke and Fuqua's achievements have been absolutely awesome. Duke has always been a risk taker in the most positive sense, with outrageous ambitions. The Duke Forward campaign and the vision being led by President Broadhead is no less ambitious than that of William Preston Few, James B. Duke, or Julian Abel. Now, as you wander through this amazing campus one last time and reflect on the experiences you've had and the relationships you've forged over these last couple of years, remind yourself of one thing. It's because somebody dared. Duke and the Fuqua School of Business are extraordinary schools that continue to produce some of the finest, most diverse thinkers and leaders on our planet. And I am confident you feel the same sense of pride in this university as I do, and the same sense of commitment to assuring that this university continues the tradition of greatness as it serves others in the future. Witness how Bill and Melinda Gates are succeeding in lifting people out of abject poverty and inhumane conditions. They care and they dare. They have the audacity to try to solve the unsolvable. Remember that, and you won't underestimate the power of taking a well-considered risk. Now, in closing, let me offer a final few thoughts. Don't let yourselves like most people. Don't let yourselves become like most people, because you're not. The fact that you've made it this far through this program shows that you are truly extraordinary people, individually and collectively. Your ambitions, your dreams, whether they be commercial, philanthropic, environmental, or social, pursue them with passion and a commitment to excellence. Now, true excellence is very difficult to achieve, but acceptance of anything less breeds complacency and mediocrity, neither of which are traits that anyone admires. Now, the world has become a very complex place with very different accepted norms, cultures, and behaviors. It's a world rife with conflicts, ambitious people, and organizations who at times bend the rules to fit the desired outcome. Some might say that the end justifies the means. I disagree. Taking a risk does not mean compromising one's values and standards. I encourage you, I plead with you, never, ever compromise your integrity and hold yourself to the highest ethical standards. To quote another Duke alumni, and actually our new chair of the Board of Trustees, who also coincidentally came to Duke under very similar circumstances as me, David Rubenstein. One's reputation in life will largely be a function of the perceived and actual commitment to honesty, integrity, and high ethical behavior. There are some areas in life where shortcuts can have benefits. This is not one of them. Now, I don't expect you to listen to me because you're impressed with my career. I hope you'll listen to me because I'm old. It's true. With age comes wisdom. It replaces what we lose in memory and good looks. Not that I ever had any. Now, one of the great lessons we learn as we navigate our careers and build lasting friendships and love relationships is that our behaviors need to be consistent with our desired outcomes and values. If you dream of outsized outcomes, you better be prepared to take some chances to get there. And I really, really, really encourage you to do so. So I applaud you for your accomplishments. I encourage you to dare the odds to achieve your own goals. And I challenge you with one final request. Don't simply dare to take the risks. Dare to be great. Dare to make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gerald, for your willingness to take a risk, for your willingness to go outside your comfort zone, and to serve as a source of inspiration and provide a role model for what it means to be a leader of consequence with a burning ambition to make a difference in the world. On behalf of the entire community, we have a small token of appreciation. And now I'd like to ask Russ Morgan to step forward and begin the process of recognizing our graduates.
Thank you, guys. Today's about you, though. Thank you for that. And I'm honored to spend time with you. So I've loved the talks that you guys have had today. And I have just a very few short remarks that are more of a thank you note to all of you. So as Bill has said to you guys recently, and that I said to you last Thursday on your send-off, I've had a deep bond with your class. I stepped into the role of Associate Dean of the Daytime Program right before you guys got here at your orientation. And although I'm a member of the Fuqua MBA class of 1988, I very much feel like I'm a member of the class of 2013. I'm not sure if you guys remember orientation, but we met on a very hot, muggy day, August 1st of 2011. And by my calculation, we've had 1 year, 9 months, and 10 days together, and I've treasured every one that I've had with you guys. I think I've already expressed any small amount of wisdom that I have to you, but one thing I want to do today is to convey something that I heard former NC State basketball coach Jim Valvano say to his players, and that is, I believe in you. And more appropriately, I think we, Fuqua, believe in you, and will always believe in you. We believe in you because we've seen just how amazing you are. In the span of less than 2 years, we've seen how you've made Fuqua a much better place. When I think of your class, I think of the great community events and the collaborative offerings you've worked so hard on to have a positive impact on the entire community. Over the past 2 years, there have been far too many of these experiences to count. A few stand out in my mind where I felt that you as a team, Team Fuqua, really pulled together to deliver great experiences. So a few of those, and I won't give you a full rundown because we'd be here the rest of the day, but a few of these include Iron Chef, Fuqua's Got Talent, Dancing with the Faculty, Blue Cup, well, at least this year's version of Blue Cup. This various symposia, speakers, conferences, from LASA to Business in Africa, C200, Energy, SBSI, the Leadership and Ethics Conference, and numerous other professional conferences that you guys did a great job with. All of the MBA Games activities, Stash Bash and the fundraising you did, your planning, execution, orientation, and BDW, various bold events, Fuqua Vision each term, the closeout with Dear World that you guys just had, Global Week, and of course, Fuqua Idol. So what's even more amazing is that, as I said, is just a partial list. This, to me, was you at your best, where you'd have demonstrated the potential that you could achieve together. Thank you for recognizing that potential. On behalf of everyone at Fuqua, thank you for everything that you guys have done. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge a number of today's graduates. So first, for each graduating class, we recognize the top 10% of their class for their academic achievement. These students are designated as Fuqua Scholars and are noted in your program. Would the 2013 Fuqua Scholars please rise to be recognized? Thank you. Second, the students in the graduating class and the Fuqua deans nominate and select students for a number of awards based on their contribution to the Fuqua community. These awards and the recipients are also noted in your program. At this time, I ask that the second-year award recipients please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Before we move into the individual recognition of our graduates, I want to acknowledge that one member of your class is noticeably absent, and Colin mentioned earlier Jessica Carreau. So last summer, we lost Jessica Carreau in a tragic accident. We've had some time recently to reflect on that loss, and I'm encouraged that so many of you have been inspired by her to be the best versions of yourselves that you can be. We all miss Jessica, and I know she would have been proud of all your accomplishments and all that you will accomplish. It's now time to individually recognize each of our graduates. Please note that you will receive your diplomas tomorrow back at Fuqua, and so after the commencement, university-wide commencement that goes on up here tomorrow, you can pick up your diploma back at Fuqua. So today we want each of our graduates to come forward and be recognized by Dean Boulding, Gerald, Hassell, and me. All right, I'd like to ask Jim Bettman, the Burlington Industries Professor of Marketing and Director of our PhD program, to come forward and read the names of our graduating PhD students. Well, I'm going to come right over. Take the middle.
Let my inner Mick Jagger out. Michael Joseph Albert. Nilanjana Dutt. Daniel C. Filer. Olga Varonyina Han. Eyoung Kate Min. Catherine Teresa Shea. Maria Elena Vidal. And Jared Evan Wolf.
Thank you, Jim. So I think Shane's already here, but I'd like to ask Shane DeColey, one of our beloved accounting professors and the newest member of the Dean team, and Cheryl Dirks, Associate Dean of Career Management, to come forward and read the names for our graduating MBA student.
Okay. Deborah Ann Costa. Okay. Colin Joyner. Monica Maria Van Buskirk. Ian Charles Kane. Suzanne Michelle Scher. Sarah Elizabeth Schiavetti. Shumir Hemendra Acharya. Stephen Kyle Ahot. Aaron M. Adams. Van Michael Adams. Tokes Adishian. Trisha Adzaki Apia. Mega Agrawal. Raki Agrawal. Ambika Ahuja. Jasmine Sue I. Arturo Aldanet. James Andrew Alfieri. Marissa Cuellar Allen. Jorge Luis Avila Mendez. Matthew Houston Allen. Alenis Almonte. Alejandro Amado. Calvin Ning An. James Patrick Anderson. Laura Caroline Anderson. Irene Juniati Ang. Imran Zed Ansari. Robert Douglas Apgar. Whitney Lee Arnold. Francisco Aruda. Dawn Arrington Arthur. Matthew Austin Aviles. Nadeem Bahauddin Badai. Bonnie Brooks Barr. Franco Giovanni Benza. Ariana Murray Berberick. Antonio Campos Alves de Brito. Tiago Dexnis. Andre Povaleri Cayafa. Samuel Cimero Farrell. Bridget Reed Bailey. Darius Alexander Bates. Sean Henry Batterton. Matthew Robert Barry. Angkor Bohra. Ilana Rebecca Bohm. Lauren Elizabeth Baum. Tyson Merle Begley. Stefan Buzomoti. Simo Benani. Kurt Paul Boehringer. Mark Douglas Breeden. Charles Burdett. Carrie Catherine Block. Roman Clem Brick. Olivia Broadway. Sabir Brara. Megan Fisher Broadwin. Michael Bruno Jr. Craig Allen Buffington. Kevin Howard Byrne. Joshua Kane. Elizabeth Marie Carroll. Hun Soo Che. Alexandra McLean Chafee. Erica Yu Chan. Ashima Chandiok. Elizabeth Ann Charles. Tony Chatia. Ginger Blair Cherney. Carla Consuela Conway. Charles Hogan Cho. Yongho Brian Choi. Kaberi Chowdhury. Ryan Paul Condon. Daniel James Connor. John Winfield Conover the Fifth. Matthew James Costello. Samuel Stone Costello. Sonoma Kuldeep Contractor. Kathleen Marie Cox. Jonathan Patrick Crimmins. Lila Womble Cruikshank. Carolyn Ann Cummings. James Andrew DeGonis. Chakradar Dandu. Darian Scott Davis. Okay. Manuel De Coral. Catherine Lynn Denlinger. Camilo A. Dennis. Ross James DeRedita. Gillian DeVleming. Nancy List Dexter Milling. Fanny Mariana Diaz Galindo. Matthew Diffie. Meredith Barnes Driscoll. Ryan Thomas Donnelly. Daniel K.O. Perez Velasco. Jose Francisco de la Colino. Franco Andres Bermudez Paz Soldan. Luis Alfredo Edwards Rios. Benjamin Padilla Concepcion. Rory Daniel Deneen. Louis Gregory DeMassa. Kenan Desdavich. Elizabeth Wynne Dolan. Gillian Dubeck. Shruti Dubey. Mikhail Dupovachev. Julia Irene Drake. Orchid Imambak.
Just first and last,
Quinton Foray. Chingzu Lin. Leslie El-Sabuk. Katie Strachan Farish. John Patrick Feeney. David Joseph Fiorillo. Johnny Fu. Luba Futuransky. Matthew Gabler. Afik Gal. Arvind Ganeshan. Shruti Gangwal. Jonathan Dunning Galt. Tiffany Gavin. Jose Roberto Garcia Manjo. Cynthia Gaza Martinez. Victoria Garcia. William Lyon Gardner. Stephanie Mariana Gorski. Stephen Robert Greiger. James Socrates Georgiadis. Oh, Socrates. Okay. Christopher Colin Jackalon. Gregory Douglas Giesecke. Megan Lee Gilbert. Leslie Dominique Giles. Kara Joyce Gillis. Laurie Ann Gomer. Elda Gizatov. Abhishek Gupta. Rahi Goswani. Jose Gonzalez. Stani Grosdeva. Brandon Vincenzo Gregor.
This is our first joint degree, School of Law.
Okay. Peter Benson Grigg, joint degree with JD MBA. Kirsten Ann Hagfors, joint with the Nicholas School of the Environment. Okay. Carrie Gonella, joint with the Nicholas School of Environment. Is that right? Amy Lee Bronze, joint with the Nicholas School.
Anna Chavis, also Nicholas School.
Anna Chavis, also joint with the Nicholas School. Louise Lavelle Hill, joint with the Nicholas School. Yana Holt, joint with the Nicholas School. Koji Kitazumi. Fred Robinson, joint with the Nicholas School. Rotimi Thomas, joint with the Nicholas School.
Joint with Truecore.
Okay. Okay. Kent Nicholas Truecore, joint with the Nicholas School.
This is what I mean when I say they go out of order.
Christopher Mark Haberly. Ragvendra Singh Bisht. Carl Wright Hardy. Jacqueline Ann Harris. Scarlett Olivia Harrod. Matthew Joseph Hartley. Michael John Hauser. Patrick Francis Heffernan. Corey Hansen. Julia Blish Houlihan. Carla Michelle Hickman. Adam Logan Hurley. Ari Benjamin Hertz. Mark Jung Hugh. Denzel Zuriel Herrera Davis. Dima Huwaidi. Dion Dakia Hill. Maria Teresa Herrera. Petra T. Hailu. Ching Jong Huang. Maya Hockman. Nicolas Carlos Hostoyan. Chen Ho. Enlin Jin. Abe Jane with the law school, JD MBA. Selena Jane. Sanjay Jagadar. Meeta Jain. Tiago Insera. Andreas Eric Janinga. William Malasha Johnson. Erica Elaine Jones. Laura Elizabeth Jones. Katie Ann Jorgensen. Scott Matthew Carleen. Spencer Coles Carney. Anna Neil Kawar, joint with Public Policy. Kaya Kayanuma. Alexander Christopher Kerr. Fatima Khan. Geethanjali Khosla. Jung-Hoon Kim. C.K. Kim. Wee-Sik Kim. Junyoung Kim. Changil Kim. Leslie Jennifer Kim. Mariana Kim, joint with Public Policy. Makiko Kitamura. Scott David Kleiman. Brian James Kotwicki. Erica Landry Kovac. Jennifer Lee. Christy Elizabeth Lang.
Just
Stan Lee. Christopher Lai. Sumit Kurana. Ameya Kokani. Asim Kaka. Nitin Kashik. Shashi Kant Kejriwal. Ekaterina Kaleshevo. Alexander Lobinichev. Oi Yen Lam. Wing Kam Lee. William Hunt Lebro. Natalie Leung. John Lee. Quang Lam. James Lee. Jennifer Ying Lan with the law school, JD MBA. Leonardo Lannis Hans. Sharon Levy. Marina Alexandrovna Kendron. Matthew Kurt Lewis. Eric Yang Liu. Blake Lloyd. Abigail Kate Lundy. Aliyah Ibrahimova.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Jace Marino.
Jace Marino. Laura Cairns Maloney. Chelsea Lynn McNeely. Manon Maheshwari. Noor Bhatia Mahajan. Miguel Marino Rico. Michael Andrew Markman. Susanna McFarlane. Joel Edward McIntyre. Catherine Pete Mack.
Look at you.
Jacqueline Naso Mancini. Samuel Rankin Mason. Alejandro Masu. Nicolas Mornagi. Vinod Krishna Menon. Anjali Menon. Dustin Michael Moriarty. Brendan J. Mullen. Rachel Zana Messenger. Barry Anthony Mills. Crystal Nicole Moore. Mayland Moran.
Sure you don't want to switch?
No, I'm good. Ryan Richard Morrissey. Megan Laurie Mulligan. Sean Edward Murray, joint with the law school. Julia Ryan Nathan. Emily Stephanie Medina. Deidre Ann Yannick Nelson. Stephen Gregory Nelson. Laura Rachel Newman. David James Nicola. Jean-Marc Nicolas. Daniel Edward Norber. Anne Love Nectarline. That's all right. Tyrus Christopher Oakes. Tomohiro Ohashi. Herman Orozco. Fiona Mary O'Sullivan. Sarah Jenny Palestine. Naresh Panda. Prem Pandian. Amir Panka. Christopher Michael Paredes. Gregory Eugene Payne. Natasha Pakor. Megan Catherine Pelly. Nadina Tripti Pereira. Alessandra Picchio. Michael Plesher. Darwin Panasami. Jesse Pontes. Lindsay Heather Posner. James Roland Powers Jr. Nicole Renee Pounding. Mingfang Fabiano Chen. B. Leanne Diane Cole. Jennifer Erin Pruitt.
Just Mike Rangel.
Mike Rangel. Ethan Gelden Regel. Monica Prokotsky. Tony Toussaint. Daniel Rios Martinez. Darlene K. Ritter. Nicholas Maximilian Trott Roberts. Richard Alton Roberts. Gina Rodriguez Pancava. Jamie Lynn Rodriguez.
Just like it looks. I'm Jamie.
Maria Angelica Rodriguez Retomosa.
Chiado.
Sarah Chiado Ruffman. Rafael Romero Gonzalez. Jonathan Rosa. Christina Rossi. Michael Yehuda Rothschild.
Eunice Jonah Reason.
Eunice Jonah Reason. Alexandra Carol Ruley. Joel Woo Roo. Adam Paul Sadlowski. Naveed John Samadani McQuirk. Brian Samuels. Carla Sanchez Torres. Diana Sanchez Moreno. Michael Walter Sartorius. William John Schaefer Jr. Scott Hunter Showmaker. David Craig Schultz. Patrick Moreno Scranton. Jonathan Tyler Siegel. Depesh Dinesh Shah. David Francis Stone. Thomas Lawrence Shields III. Lauren Essex Sherman. Michael Talbot Simone. Neha Shah. Susan Marie Shell. Prabhav Bahadur Shrestha. Catherine Lynn Stewart, joint with Public Policy. Karen Schaefer. Jeremy Craig Silkowitz. Grant Dalton Reckow. Jessica Mohan Suni. Soni.
It's okay. Thank you, Jane.
Ganesh Venkat Subramaniam. Brian Self.
Another tough one.
Matthew Paul Simpson.
Just
Jackie Song. Kristen Marie Spillane. Brandy Lynn Midori Tanaka. Naladri Sani Grahi. Mark Lewis Rosenblum. Gonzalo Serrano Palma. Diego Reyes Lopez. Rahul Ashok Samant. Kevin Shao. Shaw Tachavirat. Yang Shen. Enrique Pena Siquiera. Okay. Luis Fernando Nunes de Souza. Andrew Stolnecker. Paul Douglas Marcian. Dennis Brian O'Leary. Alexander Bennett Schwartz. George Marion Reed. Scott Edward Tagworker. Michael Alexander Ollerman. Karan Tawari. John Dudley Shear. Leong Yu. Ning Shu. Fang Yu. Yuan Zhuang. Jin Yi. Okay. Terapat Techa Mahapan. Leonard Wei Zentang. Junping Sun. Dong Chao Zhuo. Satish Kumar Salaya. Sanjay Dilip Tamhane. Jeffrey Stephen Terrell. Nicole Francis Thompson. Jacob Paul Thompson, joint with Public Policy. Deep Chandra Dupadhyay. Alfonso Jose Tapia Leon. Marcos Javier Santarelli. Bernardo Andreas Urdaneta. Ari Nathan Schwab Waysport. Seth Kirkpatrick Urban. Vadathala Kuri. Amy Vadathara Lakuri. Karen Elizabeth Vancina. Benjamin Neil Vanderhurst. Azamat Valiev. Sebastian Vergara. Paul Michael Vitelli. Luis Vivas Bayabriga. Alexander Frederick van Dyke. Shiraz Ways.
Vadikal.
Reshmi Vadikal. Jacqueline Marie Wesley. Catherine Elizabeth Wallace. Colin Francis Walmsley. Brian Daniel Walsh. Jason Wu. Jason Robert Woolner. Thomas Campbell Whitaker II. Michelle Lee Shen Wang. Emily Baird White. Molly Ann White. Peter Kevin Wu. Jessica Cherie Williams. Nathaniel Keith Wright. Shawadi Wong Fayat. Peter James Wynn. Victoria Yang. Diana Yamovich. Casper Lung Yang. Myung Hoon Yang. Whitney Ann Young. Maria Fernanda Zanetti de Souza. Andre Zaya.
Wow. So we're almost done. Just a few more things before we all convene in the Fox Center and continue the celebration. So I want to again thank all of the friends and family who've joined us today in this day of great celebration, the faculty and staff who are here, who care so deeply about the program that we put together for you, and our wonderful speakers today. One last thing I'd like to do, though, is to speak to the graduates directly. So could I ask you all to please rise? So, in a roundabout way, what I'd like to do is thank you, and then I'm going to make some requests of you. So let me get to the thanks. Every time a class graduates, they always ask the question, what makes us special? What makes us different compared to other classes? And actually what they're asking is, where do we rank and are we your favorite? And it gives me great pleasure to be able to say that you are emphatically the best class that has matriculated and graduated since I've been dean. The fact that you are 1 out of 1 in no way diminishes that accomplishment. And when you hear what I have to say next, I mean that very seriously. So here we are on Coach K court. I'm actually higher off the court than I think I've ever been. And so it's appropriate to refer to something that Coach K is fond of saying, which is, when 2 act as 1, 2 are better than 1. And the amazing thing about all of you is that you figured out, how could we not just have 2 act as 1, but how could we have an entire group act as 1? And when you do that, it creates this incredibly powerful entity known as Team Fuqua. You take the best team in the world and you make it even better. You create a team that has ambition, that has caring, that has compassion and courage, that bridges all differences, that has brilliance and accomplishment, and above all, consequence. For that, I will be eternally grateful that you have brought that team to that level. It is a phenomenal accomplishment. Now, having thanked you, my requests. Request 1, there are many people that are responsible for where you are today. They got you here, they supported you as you went through this experience. Please take the time to thank them, to express your gratitude, and for those that aren't here, don't forget them either. But you could not have done this without the support of an amazing network. The second request I have is, please, please stay connected to Fuqua. If you think about your experience here, your experience has been made richer because of all the alumni who come back and connect with you. And so if I can ask you to not only do what you've done so far, which is to take a great team and make it even better, but to think about giving back to those that are going to follow you, to stay connected in ways that you help us continue to find the best students, that you help us give them the best experiences and mentor them, and you help them find the best jobs in the world. Please stay connected with us. The third request is, please stay connected with each other. And you're probably thinking, well, duh, of course we will. We love each other. But I can tell you that the reality is that life gets in the way. You'll move on from Fuqua, life will happen. You'll get engaged in your communities, the organizations you work for, your families. You'll move all around the world, and it will be very easy to forget the incredible people and the incredible bonds that you've created during this time. Don't let that happen. Make sure that you make the effort to stay in touch with each other. And the last request, in some ways, is the simplest and the most complicated, which is, we live in a world that is unbelievably complicated, difficult, daunting, and full of opportunity. We need people who will look at those opportunities and make a difference. And so all I ask of you is to be yourselves, to go out, to make a difference in the world, and to be consequential. Thank you all so much. So just two small things. One, for everyone in the audience, if you could please remain seated until all of the students, or graduates, not students, graduates, have processed out. And the other thing is, I present to you the PhD and daytime MBA graduates of 2013.
Produced by Duke University. Online at duke.edu.